Hey guys, Terry here, bringing you a one today. We are on Westwall, playing Fute, spawning on the left. We have arnolaz as the OKW, and his loadout is Special Operations, Elite Armor, and Fortifications. Currently about rank 55 as OKW. On the right hand side we have SlowLee as the Brits, who has Commandos, Special Weapons, and Tactical Support. Currently about rank 35 with the Brits, so pretty high ranking game here. Pretty closely matched as well. I think I've cast maybe one game on Westwall. So yeah, haven't seen this much. I haven't played it that much either. I think a lot of people veto it. It's slightly too big for 1v1s, I think. Otherwise, it's not a terrible map. It's a wee bit too large. Too much space out here on the. Yeah, it's too much running around. Not enough combat. So SlowLee going for 3 sections. Novik is so far. No, he's gone for 4 sections. It's a slightly unconventional build. Remember, sections do have that slight capping bonus. So you can cap up the map quite quickly in the early game. Leaving cover here. Gets flanked by those Volksunities up there. Backpedals into the garrison.
All infantry squads can have an additional infantryman.
Still no fuel control yet for arnolaz. All this fighting with his Sturmtigers is cost him a bit of fuel control. Did secure those munitions quite early. Interesting to see what kind of tech arnolaz goes for. In fact, I'm a bit out of touch with what the way to go with Brits is these days. Ever since the AC got a slight DPS nerf to it. Still see players go for the AC to counter light vehicles, but don't just go for it outright anymore. 2 engagements going on. Looks like the OKW player's going to lose them both. Got very unlucky here. Still on 4 models, less than half health. So full DPS versus 1-man DPS. Could be about to be 0-man. Oh, if they retreat a little bit too late for my likings, and he loses the squad. Oh man. Far too late. I mean, he should have retreated when they got down to 2 men. Honestly. You're fighting 2 men versus 4. Like, you're just wasting your time. Don't have the DPS to make it count. Anyway. The section is putting up a wee scrap here. 6 kills already. Sections are pretty good at long range. Squad going quite aggressive into what would usually be the munitions cutoff here, but not yet. And this squad actually flanks around here. Looks like he may have directional cover to help him there anyway. Here comes the truck now for arnolaz. Going quite far forwards, right next to this church here. This is going to be a battle group. It is indeed. Bit late to be making a battle group. Don't like to see tech this late. He could have had, you know, he could probably be on the way to 2 STGs on his Volksunities by now. If he had got his tech cooking a bit earlier. You see the 5-man upgrade for SlowLee. So these Fox Grenadiers are really going to struggle.
Infantry squad, the enemy cut our supply line.
Especially when you only have this many squads.
Threatening a capture point.
Been quite heavily outnumbered since he lost that squad now. So 5 sections with 5-man upgrade. 5-man upgrade does seem to be a lot more popular these days,
We
actually.
can now build AEC armored
That's one thing I have noticed.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Tech goes up, takes about a third of its health and damage, and now we're seeing MG34. That's an interesting decision. I wonder if he's going to build an infantry support gun to follow up with this. Do have a cutoff here by SlowLee camping in that garrison as well, making life very hard for arnolaz. Squad here going for the cap, but this is you're going to take quite a lot of damage in doing so. Remember, you do not benefit from cover at this range too close to your opponent, as you will win the garrison, which I have covered in several videos. Probably the ones about garrisons, ones about cover. I think I did a third video just on that exact topic, like how far the range is to for the point blank mechanic to actually work. Which will all be in the tutorials playlist. Anyway, back to the action. T-34 gets their suppressing shot off. We do have some SCGs coming online now for arnolaz, so it's going to be able to contest these 5-man sections a bit better until they start to get their weapon upgrades at the very least. Speaking of, what has he done with those munitions? Has his munitions control just been that poor? He's had to spend it all on those medics. That's interesting. He certainly wasn't prioritizing munitions. He hasn't kept this very much at all the whole game. And that one in the north has been getting cut off a bit, so looks like SlowLee's going to be quite a wee way away from weapon upgrades on his squads. He's gone for medics on every single squad. Now he's going for an AEC as soon as he hit the fuel. So 8 minutes, not pretty average timing.
We're losing a capture point.
Second machine gun for arnolaz. Thought after the first machine gun he might have gone for an ISG. ISG is very strong against Brits. Perhaps
Our supply line's broken.
not that excellent on this map. This map's a little bit too large for ISGs, but I think with his battle group positioning, he could still use an ISG quite safely on this map. It would be very effective. Just because obviously ISGs can't retreat, so you don't want to have to wheel them forwards in a dangerous zone and risk losing them to your opponent. Which is why they can struggle on these larger maps. And conversely, why they're so excellent on maps like Fameville, where you can set them a few centimeters out of your base and then they can reach almost the entire map. Looks like he got in range for the Panzerfaust. Bit of a suicidal charge here though from arnolaz. It's an incendiary grenade off, and in comes a Rakin. arnolaz still has quite a lot of manpower spare. He hasn't got his medics up yet, which is a bit of a mistake. He's getting his next truck actually. I'll be interested to see where he actually decides to place this. SlowLee has gone for commandos. I do enjoy this commander myself. Do enjoy the mortar cover most of all. One of my favourite abilities. But arnolaz is really hurting for map control. All these sections, look at all these sections, 5 of them. With some engineers now as well. Out muscling his squads. Getting also non-prioritized vehicles. Also non camouflage. Just come forward, takes a shot at his squad and then retreats.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Oh, this is a good opportunity for these folks to close in here. So switch targets to one of these other squads. Ooh, lots of engagements going on. CTU folks looks like they switched targets to the engineers. It's going to be a close engagement. He managed to hold control of the garrison. The CTU folks do win. They are vet 2. And those are slight accuracy and reload or cooldown bulletins. Looks like he did not get his Rikiden back out and moving quite yet, so AC does have a bit of time to do some damage here. Pretty good garrison control though from arnolaz, and whilst this has been going on, he does have his Schwer set up, so this was a bit of a nice distraction to allow his Schwer to go up uncontested. Look at SlowLee, look at all these squads, so low on health but so many models. That is a lot of manpower he's saved there. He's gone quite lucky. Pretty much throughout their whole game, right? He's gotten lucky not dropping models on squads. I remember thinking that in that engagement over here.
Extra firepower is now available for units.
But SlowLee does have the map control edge. I mean, you can see the differences in supply
The
here.
capture point is being overrun.
arnolaz having invested so much into tech. It's definitely hurting him in the map control department. Now we're seeing some weapon upgrades, a few brands being distributed to these sections. That is an absolute nightmare for arnolaz. One of his saving graces was his Fox Genius with their weapon upgrade were outgunning the sections, but that's not going to be the case very shortly, or for much longer.
We're losing a capture point.
Only now gets the medics quite late. Ready for the forward retreat point first, which is interesting. Oh no,
Damned enemies trying to take a point
that
from
squad died so fast.
Someone's shooting us.
Oh, that is a kick in the teeth. How many Brents do they have? It's like one squad's got 2, one squad's got 1. Anyway, we saw the results of it. Quickly focus fire down that squad there. But you got to be careful running around your squads on low health,
They're trying to take it.
capping on the edge of the map. Oh, is he going to lose his AC? He's just parked it there. Took 3 shots in a row. What the hell was that?
Armored vehicle gone.
Looks like this time his RNG wasn't so strong. And the engineers do actually win that engagement.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Fortunately, he's going to try their hand and do force the retreat.
Artillery supply
So
lines being cut.
another cut off here from arnolaz. He's also lost control of his fuel, but that's not going to be connected. Oh, this could be a wipe. This is negative cover. Oh, yep, there it goes.
The squad's gone.
So arnolaz finally picks up a wipe. Also took down the AC, so pretty much back to level peggings, I'd say, at this stage, because I feel like SlowLee
Company command post.
Has perhaps had slightly more fuel control, but I'm not sure because of all the cut-off play we've been seeing, honestly. It's hard to say for sure. Anyway, arnolaz getting close to the amount of fuel for a Panzer IV. Will be interesting to see if he goes for that. Investing in some obers. Good idea to get them now. Start vetting them up before those sections hit vet 3.
An engineer unit is ready for action.
Okay, I got a bug split, but we're getting back into the action. I think MG34 probably going to lose at this range unless it manages to suppress, but probably won't because the suppression is not terribly strong.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
And there are those obers. Not going to win the race to the garrison, but he could flatten it here with this grenade, and that's exactly what I was going to do. Ooh, how did that not die, that building? More durable than it looks. These bundle grenades are so strong these days. I fully expected that to die right then. I wonder if that's because... maybe, I don't know. No, maybe not. Anyway, Vic is now coming in for SlowLee. arnolaz hasn't gone for Panzer IV. Now the sections are starting to hit vet 3 and these obers really struggling. Ooh. Okay. Probably a bit of a waste. Oh, he could lose the squad here. Probably a bit of a waste using that bundle grenade. Didn't seem likely it would land. And very lucky to escape there. So it does seem like the map is kind of being split down in this direction at the moment. Each side coming forward to harass the cutoffs, harass the fuel a little bit. But the lines do seem to be a bit more stationary. I think what arnolaz needs to do here is get some good MG34 positioning in a few of these battles, suppressing these sections, because as you can see here, he can't win these engagements even with superior cover without the suppression. So he needs to get this out here now to help in this fight. At the moment he's just getting focused down by a billion Vickers, or Bren's rather. Yeah, just getting eaten alive by these double LMG sections. The 5-man upgrade, they are so hard to beat. Looks like that's SlowLee strategy. And arnolaz didn't really punish it so far. Actually going for a Panther first. I feel like this is not that great. Oh, he's not even going to win this. Look at that focus fire. Oh no, he suppresses them all. Maybe he will win this. Thanks to the help from this machine gun back here, somehow suppressing a squad. Very close call either way. Machine gun probably needs to retreat before it gets decrewed. It'd be a shame to lose that veterancy. Okay. And that reinforcements arrive, force a mass retreat there. So Panther on the field, gonna need that machine gun upgrade to actually contribute in these infantry fights. What I was gonna say was Panther may be a bit of a mistake because at the moment he's just losing these infantry fights so badly. And Panther doesn't really contribute in those fights that much. And he's kind of just suiciding his squads into this building like quite a few times, just bleeding models to not get many results in return. But he can afford to get quite aggressive with his Panther because remember, sections do not have any tank grenades yet. And there is a Cromwell for SlowLee being upgraded with a tank commander, which has received some nerfs, I believe.
We're losing a capture point.
Now the Ogre's starting to vet up, hit vet 2, 40% accuracy, 25% weapon cooldown. Now they can start fighting those sections effectively. So that was one thing to arnolaz's credit, he did get those Ogres out very, very quickly. So we could start vetting up, and they didn't, you know, come onto the field when every section was vet 3 and suffer for a long time because of it. Just see a glider coming in for SlowLee. Remember, this glider from this commander does not act as a forward retreat point. Can reinforce off it, but that's about it. Can't rebuild commanders from it either. This commander does need a bit of a tweak, I think. Also comes in very late. 4 command points. If you compare that to like shock troops, for instance, and they do fill a somewhat similar role, commanders and shock troops. This really makes sense. Oh, he just does just run into 3 double LMG squads like that. Just get out of there. Oh, he dropped some of his LMGs there. Did they not fix LMG Pinata? I thought they fixed that. And look at this guy. What's he up to, eh? The old scarecrow tactics. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go down even with that nasty retreat path. They were quite healthy when they retreated. Cromwell can't really contribute too much against the Panther. Ooh, grenade. Is this going to be onto the door? I think it was. SlowLee anticipated that, got out the other way. Oh, but he lost control of the garrison. MG34 got flanked there. Not sure which mine just went off there. Okay, the Fox units have now hit vet 5. They're as strong as they're going to be. Still quite handily losing to the Fox though. Of course, with the glider on the field now, I suppose arnolaz has to consider demo charges being a possibility, especially on those like points around here, down here. But it looks like SlowLee does really like his weapon upgrades, going for some Piats. Now putting down a mortar pit in a not very protected position, very far forwards. But I suppose Maybe he didn't want to block this as an access for his tank, I'm not sure. Certainly behind this building will be a lot safer. Arnolaz, once again, has the, enough resources for the Panzer IV. But since he's gone for elite armor, probably going to be calling in the Sturmtiger next. So maybe that's why he went for the Panther first. He's like, oh, if I go for a Panther now, maybe I'll veer it up a little bit. And it'll be good anti-tank protection. And I'll just let my Sturmtiger do the damage. Quite risky though, because there's no guarantee you'll have enough map control. You know, given how badly he's losing all these infantry fights. To get enough fuel to get a Sturmtiger in time to make a difference to the game. So it's a logical build, but it could quite easily have backfired. And certainly he's hurting for map control now. He's about 100 VPs behind. His HQ's starting to get sieged by the mortar pit. Maybe that's why I built it so far forwards, because we've been out of range from behind the building. They sound like a demo charge, but was that a booby trap on the commandos? Might have been. Oh man, the tech structure's getting so low, taking anti-tank gun fire as well. Sturmtiger trying to position itself. So he wants to take out the anti-tank gun. Facing up now, he hears it through the fog. Is he going to react in time? Anti-tank gun gets destroyed. And now this Panther could actually get very aggressive onto the Cromwell. In fact, Cromwell coming forwards. Tank gun gets recrewed. Gonna run head on into two Raketans. Probably gonna go down here. Panther coming forwards as well. Down it goes. Panther is indeed getting aggressive. Gotta worry about those Piets, but remember these are the new and changed Piets. Don't have such ridiculous deflection damage, so not quite as effective against the Panther, unless it exposes rear armor, that is. This tank gun's still trying to knock out that HQ. Sturmtiger is doing their best to repair it. You have the repair upgrades as well. And that repaired speed bonus, and this tech structure looks like it's about to go down. Seems like one or two more mortar shells. No, anti-tank gun has to retreat. I was going very aggressive. And pretty lucky that the Sturmtiger honestly haven't lost any models to the mortar pit fire so far. Tank guns gets decrewed. He had two anti-tank guns. So I not realised the second one. I don't think I did notice the second one, did I? And Sturmtiger gets a shell off the mortar pit through the frangible, which does not appear to do damage to the mortar pit. I don't know why he would expect it to do so. As you can see there, it doesn't quite kill the mortar pit in one hit, but certainly did a good chunk of it. And I hit just before it hit Vet 3, that's when it gets its health bonus as well. Certainly helped. Maybe he thought it was like an incendiary grenade frangible, but it's not. Oh, could this be the end of the Panther? Anti-tank gun facing up. Panther, what is this Panther play? What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? That was like awful. That's what that was. That was awful. Looks like Sturmtiger did end up getting wiped at some stage. Being rebuilt now. But Sturmtiger, yeah, probably should be about ready to fire again. Ooh, and there is that demo charge that I was talking about earlier. Gotta be careful with them on those like corner points. And that was actually a really good idea to use his demo charge there, because he's gonna know that it's hard to get a sweeper squad down there when all the Sturm Pioneers have to try and repair that tech structure up. It's a pretty good idea to put a demo charge during that, but that was also a good idea. Throwing that bundle grenade there and SlowLee not reacting in time, getting wiped on the negative cover on retreat. It's a bit of revenge. Ooh. Down goes the Vickers in the garrison. Does SlowLee need to turn his sound up? I don't think he's done a very good job at all of dodging these Sturmtiger shells.
The enemy's in trouble. Our hammer tactics are ready.
Ooh, the hammer tactics are ready for SlowLee. He's got quite a lot of fuel banked up. Probably going to see a comet very, very soon. But yeah, I mean, very, very poor dodging so far from SlowLee. Makes me wonder if he's listening to music or something. If you're playing as the Sturmtiger, you crank those game sounds up, so you can hear when that bad boy is rolling through the fog of war. So that is your best defense against it.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Arnolaz getting very low on VPs, even after all those wins, taking down the pit, taking down the Cromwell, taking down the Vickers.
Our supply line's broken.
He's still in a tough spot in terms of VPs. At least though, with those commandos off the map, doesn't have to worry about demo charges, so can...
Damned enemies trying to take a point.
Oh, excuse me, Big Yacht cap a bit more aggressively. Is this a point blank rocket shot here? Oh my god. What is SlowLee doing? Does he know how the Sturmtiger works? He is doing a awful job of dodging these rocket shots. What you need to do is, when you see the Sturmtiger, you see its turret like moving up and down. When you see that happening, that means he's getting ready to fire. So maybe you should move. Maybe we'll pay a bit more attention to that next time, so we can see how that works. Good old gravity. Attracted to the glider. Well, there is the comet. Just received several nerfs. Trying to throw a crew grenade there. Wow. The cheek of this man. Probably the most important change in this matchup, considering how many support weapons Arnolaz has, is White Frostfish no longer kills. A much shorter range. Oh, that was some nasty action. Oh, the JP4 goes down as soon as it's built. Sturmtiger trying to get revenge here.
The new engineer section is waiting for orders.
Doesn't look like it's going to happen. We're kidding. No, doesn't quite get it. Doesn't quite get the job done either. So Arnolaz losing both his tanks kind of needlessly, but late, reacting that JP4 getting out of the range of those two anti-tank guns. One benefit from this condo is obviously those heat shells. It's plus 20% damage and penetration, which comes in handy when facing off against the comets. especially with your Jagdpanzer 4. It's probably why arnolaz went for it in the first place. But all is quiet now. arnolaz is content to try and sit on his VPs.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
He saves up for another tank. Could perhaps do with another squad of overs. Does that sound unfair? Oh, big wipe. It's again SlowLee very, very poor dodging the Sturmtiger. You know, just like that, SlowLee's falling behind on the army count. Going for another comet now. But I feel like he's got to win this game with these 2 comets now, because otherwise he's just going to lose everything he has to the Sturmtiger. He's shown no ability to dodge Sturmtiger shells whatsoever. Wow. Drove over all that barbed wire, did not crush it even slightly. He's gone for another Raketin. Wow. That was probably the last thing I expected. But it may work. It honestly may work, because SlowLee has just shown no inclination to dodge any Sturmtiger shells. Because what I expected to be happening right now is SlowLee will be dominating these infantry engagements like quite handily, as he does do. But then, you know, dodging the Sturmtiger rockets, this army would be much larger than it is currently. And here we're about to get another wipe. No, not quite. Building survives on a pixel of health. So does the squad. That was ridiculous. Oh man. But that hit Vet 1 on the Sturmtiger. Against the so strong Navi W grenade launcher. It's actually not very strong at all, ladies and gentlemen. Do not purposefully try to use this ability. Yeah, so you just get 100 XP from that? No. Or maybe went to another squad. What is this retreat path? What was that? Hey? 2 guys run this way, the other 2 run this way. Anyway, mortar pit has gone up. Looks like SlowLee wants to try and pressure that truck again. Gonna get the job done. He's sitting in front of his Raketin for a long time, trying to throw the crew grenade. He does decrew it, but look at that Sturmtiger shell! Almost knocks down 2 comets in 1 hit. This one has the engine crits. Where are the Raketins? The Raketins wheeling their way over here as quickly as they can. But set up on attack move. Second comet perhaps about to go down. To the Raketins is. And this is kind of why the Sturmtiger is a bit ridiculous, because even if your tank is strong enough that it can survive a Sturmtiger shell, which has to be at least a super medium tank, so it has to at least be Comet T-34-85 or a easy 8, something like that, something with more than 640 health. So pretty limited roster of tanks in the first place. Then it gets like a ridiculous crit on it, which means it's almost certainly going to die anyway, as we just saw there. Couldn't get out of combat in a good time. Look at this. Why'd he even bother setting up there? He's just getting chopped to pieces. Booby trap again does a lot of damage to the squads. Doesn't get that many models killed. Is he just going to lose the squad again? So you can see the turret raising and he's dead. What is this? This has been the most ridiculous game ever. Does SlowLee just not have sound, and does he just not know Sturmtiger's firing animation? He had such a lead. I mean, he came so close to knocking out that tech structure before, but then everything has been killed by the Sturmtiger basically. 2 comets, 4 squads, and the mortar pit. Basically everything, all of those died to the Sturmtiger. And just like that, arnolaz takes it out. He got off to a choppy start, losing that squad in the early game, and then ticked late. I mean, his ECGs came online a bit too late, and he struggled for map control for a very long time. But then SlowLee just lost everything he had to the Sturmtiger, and that was that. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.